friends, and welcome to another chapel time with me, Reverend Matt. Thanks for joining me today. And today I have a couple special stories for you that are about stories. See, we're going to learn today about why it's important, about how you tell a story is important. See, we need to be careful of the words and the tones we use when telling stories or listening to others, because that has a big impact or a big effect on our feelings. So let's watch these stories together. This is Paul. Paul is what we call an apostle. An apostle is someone from the New Testament that went around and taught people about Jesus. Paul went all kinds of places to teach people about Jesus. One of the places Paul often went were places called synagogues. Paul would go to these synagogues where they already knew parts of the Old Testament, some of the oldest and earliest parts of the Bible, and would talk about Jesus and tell the story of Jesus by starting with the Old Testament. This way, the people there learned about Jesus in a way that made sense to them. But Paul didn't just talk about Jesus in synagogues. Sometimes Paul would go to other places. Like this one time in the book of Acts, Paul went to a place called the Areopagus, and there those people didn't know about the Old Testament. So instead of talking about Jesus with the Old Testament, Paul started telling the story of Jesus by talking about some of their statues to gods that they had, or by talking about some of their famous poems or famous thinkers. That way, Paul helped them understand Jesus by starting with things they already knew. Because Paul understood that how you tell a story is just as important as the story you're telling. So what does this mean for us today? Well, think about it this way. Here's Lego Terry. Lego Terry's really excited because they get to go to a camp out. And Lego Terry's been looking forward to this camp out for a long time, and they're so excited. But then, unfortunately, because of all that's going on and social distancing, the camp out is canceled. And Lego Terry is very sad and upset. Lego Terry was really looking forward to that camp out. Terry's friend, Angry Andy, comes along and notices that Terry feels upset. "What's going on?" Angry Andy asks. And Lego Terry explains that they were really looking forward to the camp out, and then it got canceled, and they're so sad about it. Angry Andy says, "Humph. Well, that's a silly thing to be sad about right now when there's so much else going on in the world right now." And that made Lego Terry feel even worse. You see, Angry Andy was technically right. It was just a camp out. But Lego Terry was looking forward to more than just a camp out. It wasn't just about being in a tent. It was about being with friends and spending time together. You see, Angry Andy wasn't careful about how he told the story. If Angry Andy took a moment to understand what was going on with Lego Terry, it might have gone a little better. So sometimes we all have to remember to use kind words and kind tones, because then we can really see where the other person is coming from. And when we see where the other person is coming from, and we understand them and connect with them, then we can all be a little happier and feel a little better. Weren't those great stories? Thank you so much for watching with me. When I think of those stories, I'm reminded the fact that kind words and kind tone when we're telling stories to ourselves or to others make a really big difference. And they help us see where other people are coming from. And when we do that, we understand each other better, and we connect with each other better, which helps make everybody feel better. So maybe this week you can try to use kind words and kind tones when you tell stories, either about your siblings or to your grown-ups. And by using those kind words and kind tones, we can connect with each other better. Now, as we wrap up, I'd like to do the singing bowl together. But you remember the rules for the singing bowl, right? The singing bowl likes to be the only thing that makes noise. So you need to be still and quiet with me while we listen to the singing bowl. So let's sit crisscross applesauce with our hands in our lap, and let's put a bubble in to help us stay quiet and listen to the singing bowl. Here we go. Excellent. Let's try that one more time together. Crisscross, hands in lap, bubbles in. Here we go. Last time together, and take a big deep breath with me this time. Well done. I really enjoy our singing bowl time together because it helps me to slow down and listen to how I feel. I'm going to end with a word of prayer. Let's pray together. I like to do my prayer posture, put my hands together in front of my heart, helps me to be still and quiet while I pray. And then I'll pray a few words and you can echo them after me, okay? Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for making me, and help me to connect with other people. Help me use kind words and kind tones when I tell stories to other people and myself. Amen. Thanks for joining me, everybody. See you again soon.